From 2000 to 2018, I suffered immense physical problems while taking 30 milligrams of Zyprexa, olanzapine. It was initially prescribed at a higher than recommended level by Dr. Nearis at Compass Mental Health in Edmonds. Upon discharge from care at Compass, I continued to receive prescriptions for 30 milligrams of Zyprexa from Dr. Alan Carter at the Everett Clinic in Everett, Washington. Soon upon receiving care under the Everett Clinic, I began rejecting my food, my lunch, my dinner, probably because I was given a potentially toxic dosage of Zyprexa. Instead of helping to reduce the dosage or switching medications, I was prescribed omeprazole to keep me from vomiting. I continued to take 30 milligrams, which was 2 15-milligram tablets. The side effects of reducing to 15 milligrams as my only less incremental choice were drastic and uncomfortable. One side effect of Zyprexa is it made me exceedingly tired and much less able to express myself. So, I was nutritionally deficient. That was my problem. I was deficient in sunlight. I was deficient in good water and rest. And having to live with physical injuries that were very long-standing, internal, in the head physical injuries. It's like, I don't know why when someone gets hit in the head, and if their behavior does change because people can't figure out how to relieve the scar tissue from the injury, then, or how to, get back to a good level of oxygen so that there isn't an insufficiency that might be contributing to a little bit of just cognitive behindedness. But I was a really artistic person, and people weren't really nurturing that very well. People were like, it's hard to explain, I needed space, and I didn't have a lot of space, so I had to take space so that I wouldn't die, because, sometimes I always wanted to create something, so always looking to create something, and then I get it. I create this thing, and then, people don't see that. I don't know, this is I don't even know when I drew this. I haven't been drawing in a long time, but, I'll feel creatively deprived, and that time period, taking that stuff, I was definitely creatively deprived. I wrote a lot. I wrote words down on paper, but that was all I ever did, really. That's the only really creative thing I did. I had a keyboard on and off. I don't know, I needed a better one. I needed keyboard lessons. Besides that, I should have been just eating better and resting, and and stretching and doing yoga and breathing. I think I would have recovered faster, but besides that, just situationally, I really was lacking stuff to really have fun with. I might have had a keyboard I never played because maybe I was uncomfortable in my body, taking a medication that I shouldn't have been taking. Yeah. So, people that have behavior issues, that especially the people that are really just maybe exhausted from not having enough nutrients and things like that, I feel for them. I always want to keep up with the pace. I always want to keep up with the job. I always want to do something productive, and sometimes I can't, and I don't know why. Sometimes I speak carelessly, and I don't know why. But I think it might have to do with just being generally tired from the long-term effects of maybe, I mean, my problems with food was was part of some kind of a trauma that I couldn't understand. I couldn't figure it out. And so I just have to keep eating better, and as I eat better, it seems to repair the thing that I can't understand. And 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 I look back and I see this time period where I was treated I was just situationally so unfair. I had no vehicle. I had um, I've already been like these pills that they were giving me already taken me down to where I feel I can't express myself very well. I could write things down, but I couldn't figure out how to get out of the conundrum. Like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. So I kept working and walking and working and walk. I would just work and I'd walk and I'd write. That's all I would do. But you have to, I mean, I was walking out of existential boredom. I mean, there wasn't really that many days I felt all that bright and cheery while I was taking that stuff. And so I just kept walking, but I didn't get sick in that time period. Like, even though I was taking this toxic level of medication, I walked so much. The walking, I think, really did me well. I used to walk. I mean, I wouldn't say I just walked for hours and hours a day, but I always tried to at least walk down to the mall and back. But the consistency of doing that, I think, helped me more than I really understood until later, until I looked back at how long I hadn't been sick for. A few years ago, I started realizing that streak of not getting sick was due to something, that I wasn't really eating well. Like, I would eat well once a week or so, or maybe twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. But I needed to eat well every day, and I wasn't able to do that without a vehicle, without figuring out the grocery store. I mean, I've always had a trauma about food because of my in junior high, when I started smoking before junior high, and I was just eating candy all day at school. I found the sugar counter. First thing, I walked up and I got something and it worked for me. It didn't seem to throw me off. I was able to get through the day. I wasn't getting hunger signals because I was smoking cigarettes before and after school with all my friends. So the cigarettes were like supporting the lifestyle of the sugar, and the sugar was supporting the lifestyle of the cigarettes. And I mean, I felt like I was already like eating the diet of a retail worker just being in junior high school. Like, I didn't even know where the food was. I didn't even know how people were getting their food. Couldn't even think about it. Like, because I gotta tell you, one of the side effects of, first of all, having unresolved scar tissue from head injuries, and also not being able to eat well and being in high energy environments, like I needed a really strong diet in junior high school, and I went down fast because I didn't get it. Like, regardless of whose fault it was, I needed to eat like a king in junior high school. Like, I mean, people need to eat, and they don't necessarily need to eat more fast food, not like that. It's just they need to eat well. I should have been given oranges before school. I mean, no one was handing me any food. I had $2. I'd go to school and I survived. I needed more than $2. I needed something. And then in high school, you just stopped giving me money. Like, no handing me nothing for food. No wonder I found pot before school, because I was probably having to compensate for the fact they were depriving me of food once I left for school. Like, I mean, that's abuse, I think. I mean, isn't it? I mean, I'm looking back, let's say I'll take me out of the situation. I'll take my ego out of the situation. A little kid just eats sugar in junior high school. Cigarette smokes. He smoke cigarettes. so he doesn't feel hungry, right? People who smoke cigarettes know they feel less hungry when you smoke cigarettes. Or you can feel less hungry. So, high school comes, kid doesn't get any money for lunch, except from the neighbor's mom. Then when he wants to walk to school, because he's actually a physically active person, but he doesn't get food. And has to hustle for cigarettes because he's got to smoke cigarettes because he's not eating. So the reason I kept smoking cigarettes is because I wasn't eating enough. The reason I picked work over school, because at least I could go somewhere and eat. I wasn't eating at school, people. I wasn't getting any money for school, for lunch. Is that allowed? I was under 18.